What you say?
How did you come to the
I
country?
married a Canadian lady.
Oh.
Okay, you have a problem?
Guys,
Yes, I
hold on
Uh,
a second, please, everyone.
Yeah.
We've already heard from N and Abdulaziz. We have some new people here. TL, please go
Hi,
ahead.
thank you. Okay, I want to say one thing. You guys, it's on both sides, and the government wants us divided. Um, we would like, and it's on both sides. Like, there's certain lives that people are saying certain things, and we're getting upset. But it's the government dividing us. This is the government's fault, and unfortunately, it is literally dividing us. And certain people aren't acting certain ways on both sides. Like, I'm not taking sides on this because, like I said, this is the government doing this, and they're getting what they want. We need to all come together and find a way to deal with this. Yes, there has been a mass immigration, and I honestly, truly believe the only reason he put a cap on this is because there was a terrorist in our country that got Canadian citizenship. Go look it up. I'm not lying. So
Where
now
are they
they're
from?
being more diligent about it.
No, but also, okay, TL. Not okay. Maybe I don't know about the whole terrorist thing because I didn't see that, but maybe you're right. But it's not just because of that. It's also because Canadians themselves have been complaining that, like, literally
We
the.
don't have
Listen,
jobs.
listen.
That's
In the last month, there has been 20,000. There's 27,000 new jobs, right? But yet still, our unemployment rate has
unemployment
only
rate.
gone up
I'm
since then.
Canadian. I understand what you're saying, Pugo. I'm upset too. But I'm saying the whole thing, there are certain ones, and I feel I grew up in Malton, if anyone knows where that is. We didn't have problems like this 20 years ago. We didn't look at skin color. We all chilled and hung out together. The
Yeah, you're
problem
right.
is there
You're right.
there is
Long
certain
time. Yeah, before we don't have this problem. Yeah, you're
there's
right.
certain ones, not all, and this goes for every ethnicity too, not just saying the Indian ones, but there are a lot that are not obeying the Canadian laws. They're scamming papers. They've also been exploited by our government and their own. There was a kid from India who said, like, you didn't read the paper. They just make them sign it and give them false hope.
You're right.
So
You're
they're
right.
exploited by both countries. But I get
You're
it. The
right.
Canadians are mad. And the one thing we keep hearing is we're lazy. I'm going to fix all of that right now for you. During COVID, some of us didn't go to work because we didn't want the job. We were not getting a vaccine that was made in freaking what, 2 months?
This one's mine.
Second, others couldn't work because their kids were home because there was no school. So parents and single parents had to stay home. So the one thing we're hearing, and I'm not saying it's all of you, we keep hearing, oh, you Canadians are lazy. You Canadians are lazy. We came here to work because you wouldn't. There's a reason why you came here. That is just what I wanted to get off my chest. Thank you.
Thank you, TL.
And then to get back to Abdul's point, you are right. Okay, listen, a student still has the right to work. By law, they're allowed to work up to 20 hours, whatever the hours is. I know it's limited, it's not full time. So they can work. So your statement is somewhat correct that, they shouldn't be focused on work, but at the same time they can work. By law, they are allowed to work. And most of them do work honestly to also make ends meet because it's really expensive. Here it's really expensive to just rent, live, and all this stuff. However, the problem is that it's not about who they are. It's about that we taken too many in one go, and we didn't think economically through that process. We just kind of said, okay, we just opened up the immigration and said everybody's welcome. Unfortunately, again, the number happened to be the majority of students were from India. That's the issue. It's not that they are Indian. Nobody's against Indians. Nobody's against the country. Whatever. It's just that's where the mass number came from students. That's just the only thing. Because I know students that are also, I know one girl. She's from Argentina, and she also has to face through this too. It's not just people from India. She also has to go through the same process too, and she's also talking about this issue too. But she's not even from India. She's from Argentina. Yeah.
I like to add on some
Because
stuff.
she come to study and found work to pay her college. That's why the Argentina girl came to Canada. But the problem is no chances, no jobs. I have adult boys. They just work for 1 month, 2 months, then they kick them out. then he
Okay, that's
stay
the
for.
government's fault.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
government's fault for letting too many people come and take the jobs.
yeah,
It's not
yeah,
the students themselves' fault. Of course, the student, if he has the right to work, he's gonna work. If I'm a student and I
yeah,
have any chance of working, I will,
yeah,
because I also want to have fun too with my money.
yeah,
I don't want to
yeah,
just pay the bills and that's it. I
yeah,
want
yeah, yeah. You're
someone to
right.
have some freedom, right?
Yeah.
You want the
Okay,
others get
guys.
the chance. Yeah, yeah.
All right, all right. Next we have Gurya, the Uncle G. Do you have anything to say?
Yeah, so I want to talk about how spread of the immigration should be. So of course Canada need immigration before suddenly the recession come and everybody getting this pressure and load of it. So if we would talk about ideally, so initially if you are opening immigration, ideally you need to open for percentage of like world percentage like 7 billion people. Which country have which how many 1/6 of the population, one of two countries. China have 1/6, India have 1/6. Then next policy you check who are your allies, the countries. So of course Canada will put more restrictions on China, North Korea or maybe Russia or something. And then you also see who are the communities which are working with you for long time and your allies even in the world wars. Then you will also see which are the people communities which have their own sovereign country, and there are some communities in the world because these countries divided the whole earth. They put a boundary line, man made a boundary line, this is my country, this is my country. And then there are some community in the world which are fighting that they didn't get the proper share on the planet earth for their community, their religion, or whatever, their culture, their language. So they used to be part of the British colonies. So they are fighting, complaining people like when you divided the earth, you didn't give us our share, our land. We are ruled by some other people, another community, and we want share. Then this is how it should be. You need to give asylum or something. So it's not like if a country with a 1 million population complain, I see more Indian here than my country people. You are 1 million, they are more than like 101.4 billion. So their share will be definitely more than you if Canada is fair and opening immigration. And then there are other filters which I talk later. So first of all, you can't say, okay, I come from a very tiny country. My country, I only see few people from my country, and I see a lot of Chinese here and a lot of Indians, and that's not fair, buddy. There is a
So are you
ratio.
saying that if
Yeah.
there's like more Chinese than Canadians, then because I'm trying to understand what you're saying, right?
No, the
So
for
if you're saying there's
immigration.
more,
If you are opening immigration, you bringing 100 people from whole world this year, suppose. So you will see which country have 1/6 of the population. So those people will be the 1/6 of the 100 population. But then you
yeah,
will
but should
also
the
see, okay, maybe we are not good in relation with China or North Korea or Russia. Maybe Canada will put little more restriction on them, more restriction on Cuba, maybe some other countries, Venezuela, maybe. That's other thing. That's a political things. So these decisions are make of multiple factors. And then there are community like let's talk about Tibetan people from Tibet. So there Tibet is under the China and they have no country. China used to be colony of British. So now they said where we go, we don't live under China. So Canada due to the Commonwealth country, they need to give them asylum. There are people in a Sikh in India. They say we are the Hindu religion is forced on us. We are not Hindu, and this is like the whole thing. And Sikhs used to have their own country before British takeover. They didn't give them their country back. They give whole subcontinent to either Muslims or Hindus, and they want that we don't want to live under their rule. So we want share rule, a place on the earth where we can have more freedom than them there. So they coming more here.
yeah, but
So
the thing is,
yeah, because
we can all agree that
the ideally there shouldn't be border on the planet Earth when we already have a borders, and few forces put a line. This is mine. This is Hindu country. This is Muslim country. This is a this language culture is German country. This is for French people. So you know
I
what?
think we're
Then it's
living
a
in a dream land.
responsibility of international community to
yeah, but
cater
bro,
like
the
this.
international,
Canada is a
bro,
developing. Let me finish. Canada is a developing country. It's growing. So those
Canada is a
people,
developed country, sir.
It's
Canada is not
no,
doing
it's
that.
a
No,
developing
no,
the
no, but
technology and other. No, culturally developing. I mean, culturally,
yeah, but
and it's
yeah,
growing.
yeah, but
Culturally
yeah, but
developing.
bro,
So Canada
bro,
have a responsibility to because this is nobody's land. It's only land of native peoples. Other than it's not British, it's not
Sir, the
Western.
whole world
So
is
yeah,
land of
they have a
native
so
people, right?
wait till
responsibility.
you
So
find
listen
out.
me. They have a
India was also land of native
responsibility. They
people.
have a
Sir, this
responsibility
is
to
a
share
wrong
the
thing.
land with other marginalized people
Let others
communities of the
respond to
world.
let others respond
Bro,
let
bro,
others
bro,
Yeah.
respond.
but
So do you
bro, but
think if this
sorry,
is a
but
native
sorry.
land, anybody on the
Yeah,
earth
yeah,
can
one at a
come
time,
here?
one at a
No,
time,
no, no.
one at a
Yeah,
time.
okay. No, bro, but let me be honest with you. Sikh people, they don't have problem in them country in India. They don't have problem.
They do have.
They are
They
ministers, they
what's
are officers.
like
I
you know.
visited.
Let me tell you,
Just one
Abdullah.
minute, one minute. I visited. I
Abdullah,
visited.
you
Let me
you
finish.
don't
Let me
say
finish.
you cannot talk about I cannot talk about your country. I don't know the ground
No, I
position. You
know,
don't
but
know the ground position
no,
there.
no, but you are
No, no,
have
but
good position, minister, parliament,
but
officers.
what
Let
wrong
me
is he
Nobody,
finish.
saying?
no.
I'm trying
Don't
to
don't say
understand what
that.
wrong is he saying.
Yo,
He's
guys,
right.
guys,
I
guys,
mean, there
one
is
at a
no
time.
problem there, right?
How he know?
No, but what wrong do you think he's saying?
They don't
Who,
have problem.
who
I visit India. They don't have any problem. The Sikh.
No,
They are like
visit don't
Hindu.
tell things. Visit. Do you think if you visit North Korea and people there will talk against North Korea?
India is not North Korea.
I don't
You're
think.
comparing wrong
No,
things.
tell
I
me.
think
If
North
you
so.
go to
Korea and
I
Russia,
don't
Afghanistan.
think so.
if you go to
Sikh. They
Russia,
have
the
problem
people
with
will openly
Hindu. There's a
talk
lot of.
against their regime to you.
Listen,
Sir,
Yeah,
you're
listen.
but
Hold on. Let
comparing
me
apple
respond
to
to Abdul.
oranges,
Let me
sir.
respond to Abdul. Let me respond to Abdul.
okay,
Abdul,
okay.
actually, listen, Abdul. They actually do have problems, and I understand that maybe from the outside, India looks okay, but actually, like, if you're talking even just about the Punjabi and Sikh community, they actually do have a lot of problems. They're always actually assaulted by the government in power right now. They're also looked over a lot. There's actually a lot of issues. Did you not hear about their farming issues there when Modi passed laws and they were upset about it and they had to protest and it was
Can I
violent.
ask you a question?
So
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?
so they have problems, bro.
Okay, can
You
I
don't
ask
know
you a
anything new.
question?
No, brother,
No, no.
that
Yeah,
happens
no,
in
no.
every country,
Vego, I want
brother.
to ask you a question. I want to ask you a
Anything
question.
Yes,
against the
yes,
government
ask me.
happens in
Yeah,
every country,
yeah,
Yes,
right?
ask
It's
me,
not.
ask
yeah.
me.
In India, who's worse situation? Sikh or Muslim?
Brother, listen.
We're
Muslims,
going off topic
Muslims
here.
are.
Muslim are
Let me tell
worse
you,
in India,
they
brother.
are.
Let's not
But
go to
let me tell you
India.
one
Let's
thing.
Muslim,
focus
they
on
have
true
worse
Abraham.
situation
One
in
at a
India.
No,
time,
no.
please.
Let me tell you,
Yeah.
Muslims are
India,
20.
I think
Okay.
Muslim, they don't take
No,
high
we are not
position.
here to
Yes.
discuss India, I guess. Do
Yeah.
we?
Okay.
I'm just talking
Sir,
about the
you are
shared.
also
No.
wrong when you say
I
You
Muslims
bring
say
don't
the.
take
you
high
say
positions.
Listen
Sikh they
No,
me.
you are
have
wrong,
problem
sir.
in India.
Listen
They
me,
don't have any
Abdullah,
problem.
Abdullah,
Sir, you are
Abdullah,
wrong, sir.
Abdullah,
Muslim don't
Abdullah.
take. We had a Muslim president, right? So you cannot argue that, right?
Yeah,
No.
no,
So
wait,
that's a
wait.
wrong statement.
No, no. Why I bring it? I was talking about the ratio of the people who can migrate to these new worlds. Canada is a new world. The U.S. whole North America is a new world. So I'm talking about the ratio. How we can decide the ratio? What could be the
Abdullah.
factors when you decide? I wasn't talking
Let me
about
give
India. I
Abdullah an
Let him
give
example.
it
finish.
as
Let
an
him finish,
example.
Fuego.
I gave Tibet, maybe Kashmir, maybe Punjab as an example. Those were example. I never want to focus more on those issues. Their local politics. So yeah, and
Ab-
second thing, okay, yeah.
so
I agree to his point that India has the most population
yo,
on
listen.
Earth, along with China. So you expect more people from India anywhere in the world when the immigration
Okay,
comes in the
but
picture,
let me
right?
respond to
And he's
Abdullah's point.
right
Let me
there.
just respond to Abdullah's point. Let
What's
me
the
tell Abdullah
Commonwealth
why it doesn't make.
country?
Let me just tell Abdullah why it doesn't make sense to say that Indian Sikhs don't have issues in India, bro. Listen again, I'll give you an example, right, bro? Like I'm Palestinian, right? So I know the roots of Palestine. I know a lot about Palestine. But then after October 7th, people start saying Israel's the victim and all this bullshit, right? So it's kind of the same thing. You don't. All you're seeing is just kind of headlines and just some bullshit, but you don't know what's actually the history and what's going on. I have a lot of Sikh friends, right? And I respect them a lot because they show me respect. And trust me, again, maybe I'm also only hearing it from one side, so it's not the best example or it's not the most fairness. But from what I'm hearing, there's a lot of problems that they face in India. And there's a lot of issues going on there. But obviously, from the outside, you can't see that stuff. So,
It
Abdul,
is it is same like what Quebecers face here in Canada. It's the same, exact same. Do you think Quebecers are like facing a lot of challenges? No, right? Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
internally
but
they
that's,
may
that's not a
say
good
we are
example, bro. That's not a good
facing a lot of
example.
challenges. Same
Quebec's
thing is
much
with
better
Sikh.
than Punjab, though. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
Quebec at
bro,
least has
Quebec,
some
they're just
autonomy. It's not a good fair comparison.
Yeah, Quebec is just stupid, bro. Quebec just,
Yeah, Quebec even
okay,
get
it's not.
two-time referendum there, and in Indian constitution, for succession, it's illegal for succession. If they want other country, they can get a referendum in Pakistan or something. But legally, in their law, it's impossible to have a referendum within India. But in
Yeah.
Canada, Quebec have two-time referendum.
But my advice to you, not talk about native, not talk about history of Canada. My advice to you, because I saw some Indian, they say this land is not for anybody. No, this is not common sense, guys. Not common sense. You talk about native. No, we are now in 2024. Okay, and the other thing is. Your country is safe. Is not. There is no war in India.
It is
No,
one
I,
of the
I I
safest
don't
country, I
think,
would
no,
say.
Abdullah, you have no idea, but you cannot talk about Aboriginal people of Canada. They definitely have more right, more. Of course, they have to share, but they should be in the first party to consult for any policy, because
Listen, the British fucked everything
they
up.
are the
Let's be
earlier
real.
immigrants, earlier settlers here.
I don't
So
think we can talk about
they
indigenous people here.
definitely have more first place to consult before any policy is done in Canada.
And I'm just leaving, but my point is not racist. The problem is not against Indian or against Sikh. The problem is the thousand, because look, I will tell you something.
No,
Canada
you
is
can. Which
35.
country you are
No,
from?
let me finish.
Which
Let me
country you are
finish.
from? Which country
Let
you
him
are from?
finish. Let him finish.
No,
He's
no,
just
don't.
leaving
Let me
until you.
finish. Let me finish. I will tell you my country. Now, Canada, it's a 30 million country, right? Okay, 30 million country. When you bring 3 million, 4 million student in 5 years, it will make problem, bro.
Where are you getting the
It's not
numbers from?
racist.
That's
It's
very
not.
false.
Canada's close to
Abdul,
No, no,
I'm
40
no.
sorry.
We're
I'm sorry. I've
talking
looked at
about
statistics.
at least 2 million, 3 million. Let's be
There,
honest. Let's be honest.
Abdul,
Yeah, no,
Abdul,
he's
Abdul.
right. We have two and a half million temporary student,
Yeah,
temporary
in
resident who are
30.
For
temporary
me
Yeah,
to
here, right?
say,
guys.
I
Yeah,
need
He's
yeah,
right. Yeah.
guys.
statistics.
Let
I
me
need
finish.
statistics.
Let me finish. I will leave. I'm leaving. Let me finish. In 30 million country, okay? Those people, the 30 million, they have young 18 years old, 20 years old, 22.
Did you kick him?
I want stat. I need little stats. I don't like stats pulled out of the butt because I literally have the statistics for how much immigrants have come to Canada. I can pull it up if you guys want. Give me 1 second.
So give us
I
give
have it
us
in
the
my
number. On the
phone.
last, what's the population right now? Because I
We got
you know
40 million. We got 40 million in
4.2
Canada.
million.
Here,
no
here
no
it
Sorry,
is.
44 million.
Here's
Sorry,
literal
44 million.
stats.
42,
yeah, but
43
add them
million.
up. But you have to add them up, bro. So what's the number? Add them up, and what's the number in the last 10
So,
years?
so here's the thing. We don't know
That's
how much of them
including
are
them,
students,
right?
though,
That's
right?
including them. So it's
We don't
around
know much. We
41
don't know how much are
million.
students, but let's say before Trudeau, we were letting in 2015 to 2016, 323,000. In 2022 and 2023, 469,000.
That's a million
Are you
right
looking
there.
only the
And from
students?
from
Are you
from
looking only the
2020,
students?
that's already a million.
Yeah, but we've always been bringing immigrants. Like that's the thing. Like my
I
thing is
understand,
like what
but bro,
point are we trying to
the
create?
issue is not the issue. Listen, back then we had the resources to continue to basically feed what we were bringing in. Right now, after COVID, shit took a turn, and we don't. That's the
Exactly,
issue.
it's a COVID thing. It's a COVID thing. Like then we can't be making it about it's
Yeah.
immigrant thing. Let's be honest.
It's a
International students were
temporary
coming
thing.
before COVID, right? Sorry, Riyad, I'll let you talk after this. Before 2019, we were before COVID, we were letting international students. It wasn't that much of an issue. After COVID, whether we like it or not, I feel like yes, is international students and immigration like putting a strain on our facilities? Of course it is. But I feel, if I'm gonna be honest, I think it's being blown out of proportion, and international students are being scapegoated at the moment.
You know where the challenge has been, what I find earlier, the students or people who were coming here, or the immigrants who were coming here, they had a fair high level of education. Now the students that we got, they are below average students that we got here now. These guys, most of these guys cannot get even admission in Indian universities, forget about here, and they all reached here, right? So now the quality of the quality of students that we got is below par. So what can you expect, right? This is what you expect, what you see, what the level that you take is what you get, right? And that's where the challenge is.
I agree with
Now,
that because
I
now
can
we made
talk
it
about
easy.
this too. I can talk about this point
No, no,
too.
but now we also, but that's facts though, because now,
Yeah,
like, yeah, you're
I
right.
will
A lot
talk
of the
about
students
facts
came.
also. I will talk about facts also.
But let me just finish. Let me just finish, brother.
Yeah.
We let you speak for like 10 minutes earlier. Nobody interrupted you. I'm just gonna say a 1 minute thing and then let you like rebuttal, right? He was also kind of right. Like even I went to university and I saw a lot of these students. They're studying like the most basic programs ever, and they're not even like doing a degree. A lot of them obviously because I think by law they
Diplomas.
just need a diploma. Yeah, diploma. And some of them, if they can even find a program that's only like a couple months, it's even better. You know, a diploma is at least 2 years, so you're somewhat forced to learn something. But that's the problem. Is also a lot of these guys that were coming, like for example, a lot of our parents when they came here and they said they wanted a better education, whatever it is, they actually went with that education and they actually got good education. Like some of them became doctors, lawyers, whatever it is, own their own companies. So those are proper education and they kept using them. But now, like you said, a lot of them just find it as a loophole, come study arts for a year, which is obviously, I'm not saying arts is a bad thing, but let's be realistic. If you're paying $30,000 a semester to come study, at least study something that's going to pay that off, right? Not arts, where arts, unfortunately, the income is usually not that good. So
Brother, I don't know if you
that's kind of
know.
that's a fact.
Their goal is not to study here. The end goal is to just to get a PR by hook or by
I
crook.
know.
The goal is not to study. It was never their goal. Even when they went to an agent there, gave all this money, fake papers and all, they knew what they're doing because their goal is not to study. You have to admit that. They are below par, below average students who barely get 50% in their grade 12. What can you expect, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
and a lot of university here, like high school.
Can I talk on this thing too? If you guys are done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please.
Yes.
So here is the thing. Canada always need different level of people, highly skilled, semi-skilled, unskilled labor, and other jobs. The problem with those, and then the people who come after graduation, so mostly they already created their mindset, culture, and stuff. So they have a hard time to adjust here. So this is the policy they started that we get people. There is a bigger issue of adolescent age that we are facing now. All these things because these kids are very juvenile who coming and then they have no control, no parents. But the thing is, the policy was so let them come first. Canada university was dying mostly in small towns. More colleges were dying. They have no funds, so they open it other things. So they while they're studying here 2 3 years, they simulate, they learn the culture, they go to schools and they see other kids, they mingle with them, they understood with the other students how to drive. So this was the strategic policy originally. So they can study here few years, and by the time they start their profession, they are already assimilated or integrated in the culture. So it was thoughtful, but then there are issues of adolescent age, like they are very young, so they come together, so they get that mob mentality, they do party and stuff. You bring any community people together, they will do it in this age, no matter what. So but this is not nonsense. Canada always need low skill, high skill, all kind of. Let me give you example. Initially students never, even maybe it was allowed by legally, but never thought about like they can do driving jobs. They always do jobs in restaurant stuff. In COVID time, suddenly big demand because transportation never stopped because people still eating food and stuff, and there was very like a demand of drivers, and suddenly companies start hiring students. Okay, if you get a driving license, we start hiring you. So they filled the gap that time when nobody was working, and then even just after COVID, the economy just suddenly boomed for a little time, and a lot of people needed. So
Sir,
the immigration
you're
come
trying
first.
to
Let me
say,
finish. Let me
sir,
finish. Let me
sir,
finish.
you're trying to say
Let me
as if
finish.
they help the Canadian society.
Let
Yes,
me
they
so
did,
so
but
Canada
half of them they were
Canada
forced to
use
work
them.
because their
Let
parents
me
could
finish.
not
So
Let
afford
I'm
it.
not
let
done.
him respond.
I'm
Let
not
him
done.
respond. 2 minutes each.
I'm
Two
not done.
minutes each, bro.
I'm not done.
Yeah, but two
So
minutes each, bro. If we don't put a
when
timer, then
in
you can go forever.
Canada people who don't want like are not working, and we still need people. So these people fill the gap, and we all use their as help. And then suddenly recession come, international recession come, and even there was no international student. With this recession, people will find something to blame on no matter what. They will now, these are easy target, and there are other policies. Since the India and Canada political relations get bad, there are a lot of internet army, bot army and stuff, which is pushing this narrative with the people with the turban and stuff. All those beach thing and those signboards were all AI. It's all people know. Even this murder of the Tim Horton guy with because this is big meme going on. Tim Horton, people with the turban. Tim Horton, and then that guy was stunned after killing that kid. That what I
Bro,
did
you want to know the
because
truth, though?
Okay,
You
no,
want to know
Fuego, hold on,
But hey
hold on.
guys, can I
yeah,
chime in
yeah, no, no,
real
no,
quick?
let
Just real quick. One
go
second.
ahead.
Give me 1 second, guys.
All right,
This is
Nathan,
this is
Nathan.
this is yeah. Give me 2 seconds, guys. None of this problem is related to any international students, and some of the stuff you guys aren't talking about, visitor visas turning into work permits, which is also wreaking havoc. Individual that turns into work permit gets their license and gets on the road that has no experience and causes accidents, right? At the end of the day, this entire mess is created by the government. We have to all agree and we have to all admit it, and let's stop scapegoating the students. Because if any one of us living in Canada, we had the same loopholes to go over to the United States, we would take it. So
Yeah.
I
So
keep hearing so we're gonna
one
get the
point,
bad quality of students.
another
Yes,
point.
every country gets that.
No,
Every
no.
country gets fraudulent documents.
Another
But
point.
it's the Canadian government that doesn't do their job.
Another point.
Yo,
Another
listen,
point.
let,
So
no, no, but,
when
but let me
look,
just say something.
listen.
No, but let me just say something, bro. We're
Yeah,
letting
you
you
can
speak.
say. I just have to add one more point on my
Clooney
thing.
has been sitting here
I
for
know.
past 10
Yeah.
minutes. Let him
So
speak,
last
please.
point.
I know, but bro, just 1 second, bro. Also,
Last
another
point.
thing is,
Let's let True Name speak. True Name's wanting to speak for a while. We gotta let the newer guests talk.
Yeah,
bro,
my,
but I
my
haven't even got a chance to
question,
respond yet.
my question was to Fuego and Cool Dude. Cool Dude said, these guys are not coming here to study, right? Now I get it, but just wanted to ask you one question. Why would somebody come to study to Canada? Like, what's so special? And just one more thing. How, like, after 2016, 2017, how is it that all of them wanted to come to your country to study? Like, what's so special about your studies?
So you're asking what's so special about coming to study in Canada?
Yeah. What's so special about? How do you like? How can people not think that?
Okay, let me answer
Why
that.
are so many people want to come to your country to study? Like, how is it that after 2015, 2016, so many people wanted to come to? What changed? What changed after 2015, 2016?
Guys,
Let me-
one at a
let
time.
me respond
One
to
at a
you.
time, please.
Let me respond to you. Let me respond to you. Let me respond to you. You know, that's a. Bro, Nathan, you have an echo, Nathan. Okay, that's a really, really, really good question. But you're actually asking the wrong people that question. You're supposed to be asking the students because really good question. Based on what you're saying, actually asking the wrong people that question. You're supposed to be asking. Nathan, okay. So as I was saying, you're asking that question to the wrong people. You should be asking the students on why they really want to come. That brings us back to the point where somebody said that a lot of these students know by heart that the reason why they're actually coming is to get a PR. And the only way to do that through a student visa is you have to study
That's
something,
what I'm
whether
saying.
it's
That's where my
a
second
document.
point is. That's where my second point is. Like, somebody or the government was giving them assurances that yes, you can come here and you can get a PR. But then what the government did was also lie to the Canadians. Like, no, they're just coming here to study. So they were
No,
lied
sir.
to on
The
both
assurance was
sides.
given by the agents, not the government, right? You have to understand that agents sitting in
How come all
India.
of a sudden agents can give you assurances?
But
Like,
they are right.
something must have changed.
Okay.
They were not giving assurances before 2016. How is it that they were giving assurances after 2016?
Because the
What
government
changed?
opened the
Can I
floodgates,
say
right?
can I
The
say something? Can I say something, please?
Go ahead.
Okay, so see, so if you see, okay, just don't talk about Canada. If you see all around the world, right, immigration was happening because people want to have a good life everywhere. If somebody of you have like immigrant parents, even they move to this country for a good life, right? So when people see there is a proper way to move to a country and they have a chance, they have a chance. Why I'm saying chance? Because government having some laws, some programs with saying, we ask you to come for study, then we will give you a work permit, right? Once you give a work permit, you have to complete certain eligibilities, right? So if you complete a certain eligibilities, you can apply for PR. That's a proper channel. It's a proper channel. There's nothing wrong in that, right?
Yeah, just one more thing. If the government was true with Canadians, if they already told them in 2016, 2017 that we're going to bring millions and millions of students here, they would have said no. That's why they had to lie. And to
Okay,
reply to
nobody lied.
no, to
Nobody lied
reply,
to
I'm
anyone.
replying
I'm
to
telling you
you.
why.
lie about
Because
I'm
everything.
replying to
Guys,
you.
listen,
one at a
I
time.
just ask for some time. I please look, please
I'm
look, right?
replying to Cool Dude, actually. I'm
Brother,
replying to
please,
Cool
right?
Dude
Brother,
about...
true name. See, look, it's
Name, let him speak.
lot of things has been happening in the government And what you think you know everything? No, it's your. If you think you want to know about something, go Google it, right? People getting PR in this country after studies, not from now, it's from 80s and 70s. Some students came in 80s and they get their PR later on, but in different programs that time,
Bro,
right?
but 20 years ago is different, bro. Canada was worth
Different,
it 20
different.
years ago. Now,
I
now
know,
it's
I
not
know,
even.
but
I'm
still
Canadian,
saying it.
and it's not worth coming here anymore. I'll
I
tell
know,
you
I'm
that
still
right
saying.
now. So
I
things
understand what you're
change.
saying. I understand what you're saying. See, I'm saying if somebody was getting 80 and 90% marks in the schools, they don't supposed to come to Canada, go to Europe, Germany, Australia. These countries provide you a good knowledge, right? And and the thing is, don't say if you get if you're having 50% or 60%, you are stupid or you are garbage students. No, see, all the students who have this, but look, all the students who have 50, 60% marks, they come to Canada, they don't become engineers, they don't become doctors. What they're doing, they work Tim Hortons, they work in
That's
some
good.
like
That's a good
tech
point.
skill
Okay, okay.
skill jobs, right?
Here is my problem.
That's a
We
good
don't need
point. You
people for
raised
Tim
the
Hortons,
standard.
right?
You raised the
L-
standard of
That's the
education
problem,
to
right?
come
We
okay,
here.
don't
okay,
need
okay.
That's
people
a,
for Tim
that's
Hortons,
a
right?
really good point.
Everybody is getting standard education. They come
No,
after
no, no, no.
grade
One second.
12, they finish
No, no,
their
but
IELTS.
there should be a
We
higher
don't
standard.
Yeah,
want
A
and then
higher
they
Canada does
study
standard.
not
here
want
too.
people for Tim Hortons,
Like,
right?
We have a
We don't
fifth
have to
year.
get people from India for
guys,
Tim
Why
Hortons,
you are
right?
I
saying
That's
need
the
it?
to
It's a
wrong
tell.
thing.
government policy. Look, brother,
No,
it's a government. See, you are saying it. You are saying you don't want Tim Hortons kids, right? Okay, I'm okay with that, right? Okay, so like I don't understand. Who's stealing jobs? Okay, if you're saying the job has been stealing from last 4 years, but students are working in Tim Hortons even in 2017, 2015, and 2016.
See, the
yeah.
problem is, you have to understand,
Oh,
what's his name,
okay.
Navjot? You have to understand, earlier we had a fair mix of employees working in Tim Horton, right? There were few white people, there were few Indians, there were few Afghanis, there were few Europeans, there were few, you name it, right? Filipino and this and that, right? Now, if you go, you go to Walmart, you go to Tim Horton, you go to any store. Is it the same? I don't know where you live, but I live in Mississauga, right? You go to Brampton, Mississauga, Scarborough, GTA area, anywhere to Kitchener, Waterloo, up to that extent. You go further, right? You only see one racial people from one ethnicity, right? That is the problem people are getting upset with. They are
Because
not
it
saying
makes sense.
don't fight
Okay,
Indians. Nobody is saying that,
can
right?
I
No, no, it
answer?
makes
Nobody
sense.
ever
But
said
Navjot,
it's
that,
a real
right?
problem.
Guys,
Navjot,
we're too
let me
liberal,
let
man.
me
We're too
talk.
liberal. We're too liberal. We
No,
need
no, no.
conservatives, bro. We're too soft. We're too
Okay, okay,
soft.
okay.
No,
Yeah,
no, no.
yeah. Got
Canada
it,
is
got
way
it.
too soft.
Okay, we heard you. It's my turn. So somebody said
Oh,
they
it's your
just
turn. Speak for 20 minutes. Go
they
ahead.
just come here to Tim
Before I
Hortons
go, he's
and they
been
use
quiet,
fake
to be
docs.
fair.
First of all, you don't need a document or degree to work in a Tim Hortons. Like even a middle school kid after 14 or 16 can work on it. Second thing, so you know why government, like what's happening here, the big senior population is already started and within last 3 to 4 years. So when government make policy 10 year, 20 year, people don't understand why they are doing this. So if you guys check stats within the next 10 year, 5 year, most of the population will be retired here. Lot of there is no young people. So government making a policy for future. This is just a for global recession come and then this chaos happen. Second thing,
Well, listen.
why? Listen, let me. I'm not done yet. So
Okay, you're not done.
students have 20 hour to work. So last after COVID, why government have to make change the policy for 40 hour and now they take it back for a year or
Supply and
two?
demand.
No,
Supply and
no,
demand. That's
because
why.
because businesses were complaining we can't find employees at like a minimum wages or 15, 16. We can't afford paying 20 or 30 bucks. So the government they didn't they are not in favor to students but giving them 40 hour for 2 years because they need more labor hours in those years, and now things settling and now they're bringing it back to the 20 hours. So
Okay,
here
but
Canadian
as a
government, the
student,
way
why you
Canadian
want to? Isn't that
government is
solving a
not
problem?
favoring the students
But
or anybody. They are looking at their own personal interest, and that's fine. And in those
Exactly,
personal
but that's every
interests,
government.
in those
That's
personal
every
interest,
government.
No, no, that's
listen,
every
I'm not
government
done.
does that,
In
right?
those
The whole
personal
world does
interest
that,
of the
right?
policymakers, the bureaucracies, the
Correct.
students get benefit for 2 years. So what's wrong now? Now they can only work for 20 hours, and they are okay with
Okay,
that.
okay, hold on a second. Question for you. Question for you.
Yeah.
If the student knows they're getting finessed, right? Because like you said, basically the student kind of knows that right now we need them, so we let them do whatever, right? Then now we switch the things. Is the student really surprised though? Like, is the student genuinely surprised that the
No, they
government
are
just
not
fucking
surprised. They are
used
okay with
them?
the 20 hours. The problem is that new students, no problem. They will know the policy. The students come with the previous policy. They said don't apply new policies to us. We are here for last 3 years. For new students, we will come now this year on international students. They need to abide by the new rules. And this is fair. But the students who are here for 4 years, and
Can I
you,
ask you a question then? What's the
yeah,
answer, bro?
so
What do you think?
uh,
What's perfect? Tell me. What do you think should happen then?
with whom?
With everything with the students going on, what do you think the policy should
Yeah,
be, and what do you think?
if the things change, so with new policies for new students, government can make the rules more stricter, so lesser people come. That's fine. The people who are already here for 3 4 years, so that time those time of policy should apply on those who are already here with those hopes. Because when you start your life, you go to other country, do plan according to these are the options in that country, so you plan your life ahead. So they spend their 4 year here for those plans according to those time of rules of those times, and you can't surprise. This is immoral. This is not good on Canada face, like okay, these people don't honor their word. They give us a word on those times that we have option, that we can transition
Yeah,
from student to work permit and to PR, and now they said, oh, we use
that
them
is
for
still
a four
there.
year we
No, no,
use
no.
them for
That's
no no
still
no
that's
it's
still there.
immoral that
Guys,
we
No, no,
use
no.
them
It's
for
still
a four
there.
year
When
and
did the
now
government say you
we are
cannot
kicking
become
you
a
out.
PR?
Yo, you're the
No, no.
first
When did
guy.
the
You're
government
the
say you cannot
first guy.
become a
No, no, no.
PR?
Listen, Kuga, one second. Kuga, one second. You're the first guy. I'm not sure what your username is at the bottom. The guy, I don't even know what your username is, but you're the first guy in the past couple of days that I've been listening to these lives that I actually agree with. You are actually right. Somebody who's been here for 4 years shouldn't have things switched on them overnight, because you're right. Because a lot of people do pre-planning, which is what you're supposed to do. So that's actually a good point. That's the first time I've ever heard it like that. Usually they come up on these lives and they just yell that we're gonna take Canada over, and they just go crazy and they don't even let people understand what's going on, right? So
Hey,
that's actually a really good
Fuego,
point. I
guys,
agree
just
with that.
1 second. 1 second. Is there anyone in this live who wants to drop? Because we had Nate. Oh,
You have
okay.
another
Oh,
guy.
somebody
Yeah.
dropped. Let Ottawa,
All right, someone dropped.
Ottawa Times wanted to talk for a while. I don't even think we've let this guy
No,
talk.
no, no. When you say the rules change,
Oh, Terja, yaar, Terja. Okay, you can talk after Ottawa Time. I promise. Cool, dude. Ottawa Time, go ahead.
Thanks so much. First of all, I just want to thank you for always hosting these lives. I usually jump in quietly, and I'm learning a lot.
You're welcome.
One thing I just, yeah, one thing I just wanted to say is, I have a lot of empathy for international students. A lot of Canadians don't understand the difference between an international student, a temporary resident, like, the different immigration programs. And the government, honestly, is the chief party to blame, because they create so many programs and they don't assess as to whether these programs are successful. They'll create the global talent screen, they'll create, various new specific, talent streams, and without, looking back into whether or not these programs have been successful. And that's what leads to these sudden policy changes. And I was just going to say, I agree about like the if with changes to policy, they should always be the people who are currently in the system should be grandfathered in. Like if you came into Canada on a 3-year program and you had an understanding that you'd be able to work for a certain number of hours, yeah, I agree with you guys. You should be able to do that. One thing I will just say, kind of a general point about the lives is like just have an understanding that a lot of Canadian people are listening in, and they're learning from you guys' experience, and from the experience of international students. And these conversations are really important because elections are coming up both provincially and federally, and immigration is going to be a huge topic. So anyway, I'll just jump off quickly. Thank you for the chance, and have a good day, guys.
Thank you.
And
You're
one
welcome.
thing,
Okay, next.
Great. So, I mean, wait, I want to reply to the 10-9 guy. I don't know his name.
yeah, infinity
And
minus
then,
one. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So you said, you know what? You made a point in terms of, hey, these students were offered and allowed to work whatever 40 hours during the pandemic and the COVID, and now we're pulling it away for 20 hours. But at the same
And that's
time,
absolutely fine. No problem with that.
I know, but you're saying, hey, it should only apply to the new students coming in and not the existing ones that
No,
were
not this
allowed
rule.
that.
Not this rule. Not this rule. It's not about this rule. This
Okay.
students are absolutely okay with this 20 hour. The rule is the PR rules. They changed the PR rules for students. So they said, okay, you can apply new PR rules for new students. It's about the PR, not about the 20 or 40 hour. There is no
Okay,
complaint about that.
but the rules are as they always say, they're flexible. They change them as they need it. It's a
Yeah, they
throttle,
can
right?
change
And
for
I'm
new
not.
students.
And
Like
yeah, no, no, no.
it's a
It's
human.
for
Listen to me. It's not a machine. It's a human who plan their life. It's a real human who plan their whole life. I will study there. I have this option. So it's like there are sentiments. There is a morality here.
no.
So
There
you
is a
cannot play with
morality.
the
No, I
people
understand.
life. Oh, okay, new students they read the new
No, no, no.
terms. They should
Okay.
be
So let
agree
me
with
just
the new
chime in.
terms.
Let me just chime in. I'm all about empathy, and I'm a very empathetic person, and I get it that they have applied here. But there's always
Playing
that
from
with coming
desktop
with the
Mac
understanding.
974.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. There's always that understanding is there is no guarantee, and then the rules can change anytime. It's happened with me as well when I was in the U.S. Rules changed. Trump came into power, and the processing took a lot longer, and my visas had expired. The first thing I did was, as soon as my visas expired, I moved back, right? And now I'm eligible again to apply when I choose to. The point is, the rules are not set in stone when it comes to immigration. Immigration is a throttle that goes up and down, and economy is what drives this, not just elections. Because I hear it over and over, it's now elections they want it. It's not just
But
election. It's
it
economy is great.
grandfather
Hold on, sorry,
before
1 second. Let me
immigration
just finish
laws.
off. Let me just
The
finish off.
grandfather before.
Sir, I let you talk. Everybody's like, the economy is the main driver, not the election. Elections are going to be over in a year, and guess what? We're still going to be talking about this issue, because at this point, it's the economy. We don't need as many individuals at this point in the Canadian economy. There's too many. In 5 years, guess what? They may open up this immigration again. That's the problem with the government. They don't have a very balanced immigration system. Like I mentioned a point earlier, tourist visas or visitor visas turning into work permits. That's absolutely asinine. That's the stupidest thing. Go back to the students. Students knew very well, hey, right now is the opportunity to get our immigration. Let's just go by whatever means. I'll take an art, as somebody says, art course or whatever course. I'll do it. But there's no guarantee behind it. The rules, they knew, hey, I've heard it over and over again from students. They're like, hey, Canada became a really relaxed country, so that's why we chose it. But with the notion of we knew that, hey, this could change. This may not stay the same course.
Yeah.
The students were dumb.
So
Everybody knew it. When you
this
know
could
there's
change
a
for new
loophole,
students. This
but
could
hold on,
change for new
sorry,
students.
sorry, I'm gonna be
This
done.
could and this should be. No, no,
Hold on,
listen
guys.
me, listen me. You are not getting
One
the
second, I'm
point.
gonna
I don't
finish.
think you get the point. Let me explain
No,
again.
10
Let me
seconds. No,
explain
10
again.
seconds.
I
10
don't think you
seconds.
get my point. Let me explain again.
10
Let me
seconds. 10
explain it.
seconds, and you will get your.
Okay, go
And I'll
ahead.
be muted. But students know that there was a loophole that was created with all this government stupid policies. Loophole is as such. Once a loophole is discovered, they close it. So government owns this, but let's not make it like students were naive. I just want to make sure they also knew this. So go ahead. I'll mute myself.
Okay. First of all, there was never a loophole. These strategies, policies are deliberate. They make this, and how you guys know this is not the 20-year or 10-year strategy by government. So what they need in the next 20-year, 10-year. So what level of experience they need. So they will bring people now. So when they need more people, big retirement is coming and stuff like that. We are
No,
because we
how
humans
is it a
we are
loophole
looking
if
at this
your
global
government is the one
recession. We are
doing it?
looking at this global recession. This recession come into 80s too, like 81, 82. The mortgage rate, even the interest was double than what we had before. The people survived that too. So it happened multiple times. The government, Australia, this happens sometimes. Okay, somebody is echoing. JK, can you mute? Okay. So even in Australia, sometimes they relax, sometimes they make it stricter. So then new students are okay. When Canada making stricter rules now, the lesser student, nobody will complain in India or in Nigeria why you stick to your rule. No, they will be okay now. So the grandfather This is common in immigration policy even before when new rules come. People who applied before, they mostly the old rules apply to those people whose applications are already in. This is very common practice by government. It's nothing new here in Canada.
These are policies. Policies
Yeah. So
change. I just
these,
want to make
yeah,
sure these
yeah,
are
yeah. Of
like we're
course.
talking.
Yeah. When you take the
Okay, so
application,
you know what? Having a
the
conversation with
rules
you is
at that time,
listen,
rules at that time
listen,
apply.
listen.
This is very common practice.
10 having a conversation is a little difficult because as soon as you say something, then you stop and then we try to rebuttal. You chime in. You need to give other person a chance to answer. It's common
Nathan, you got
courtesy
your
here.
time.
It's common courtesy here
I'll
in
be fair on
Canada.
this. You
It's
guys
a
give
common courtesy. Sorry.
no. What I mean is like let's give everyone an equal chance to say things. When you're done, like that other person can speak because this will not go anywhere.
Can I, can I
Coming
ask
to
a
the
question to Unk? Like, I love his passion, but like, okay, what rules do you think changed? And a lot of it is that it's a pool-based system, right? So when low demand for immigration to Canada, it's easier to get PR, and when it's high demand, it's harder to get PR, right? You can't. That's not really rules changed. But like, I want to hear
And
your opinion on
it's
what you think
absolutely fine.
changed.
Nobody have a problem with that. Who have problem with that? Who have problem with that? Nobody.
Okay, so then now that there's more demand, we have a lot of temporary residents. PR, the scores go up, right? So it's not like the rules haven't really changed. It's just a pool-based system, right? It's like, okay, you have a job opening, maybe it's not popular. You have 50 people apply for it. Obviously, it's easier to get the job. Now you have 200 people apply for it. It's harder to get that job, right? But rules haven't really changed, or the process really haven't changed. It's just that there's more applicants in the pool.
Yeah, so first government can stop those working visa things for visitor visa. They have some policies, so they need to start with that. Then they need to start with the PNP because they can work now. Then they start because we need a young population. At the end, if still not working, then we need to think about something about this new students who spend like 3-4 years here. So first we need to stop any working hour to any kind of visitor visa, whether it's a parent or grandparent, whether it's other type of, and then we need to move forward.
But
I'm done.
according to that, which I agree, by the way, according to what you just said, we need to change it because that's not working. It's having. Why are you applying that same methodology to the visitor visa? Because some of them already got a visitor visa with the intention of turning into a work permit. When you're saying, "Hey, we shouldn't do this," and grandfather in the international
Yeah,
students,
I can explain. Let me explain. Yeah, I'm giving
sorry, you
answer.
can't have
I'm
it
giving
both
answer.
ways.
I'm going to give answer. I'm
Yeah, I know,
going.
but I
Yeah,
will.
I have
You
answer.
can't. You can't have it both ways. When you
No, no,
say,
no.
"Hey,
I can have answers. There is a difference
apply,"
between. First of all, they spend more time here. They study in the Canadian colleges, whatever hours they spend, and then we need a youth population in coming years, next 10, 20 years. So long term policy, we need them, and they are willing because sometimes visitors they already have a job in their own country. They are established there. That's why they have money there to show fund. They can visit and go. And sometimes those visitors after a year or two they think, okay, I am going back, I have a job there. They mostly take a long leave from work there. Students, they don't have a plan B for their life mostly, so they only have plan A. They are more stable, more we can trust that they are gonna stay in Canada and contribute here. So they have more weightage here
so
definitely
you're
than
saying that the
visitors.
students will contribute more than visitor visas.
They
Okay.
spend more time here.
So
They studied here, and they don't have a plan B. Most visitors have jobs in other country. That's why they afford to visit Canada just for
so
a year.
That's not necessarily a good
so you're
No,
plan.
making
no,
an
it's more.
assumption.
It is. You can check facts.
I know, but a
What
lot of them don't have
facts?
a plan
Show
B
the facts.
because they're not really qualified. They can't go get a good job back in India. They can't immigrate to another country because they have a diploma from Intl
Those people,
Academy.
to get a visitor visa in Canada, you need to show a big asset that you are coming back. You have a job or
Of
something. They
course,
need to
I'm
show
just saying
big
that
ties.
a
They need
lot
to
of
show
these
big time
students,
ties.
a lot of
But
these
the thing
You
students
is,
don't
cannot
have
the
plan
thing is,
B.
equate
all the
students
students
with
don't
the
go to the
visitor.
ACE Academy.
Yeah,
Okay,
layer
one at
visa.
a time.
The visitor and layer visa is for people who have enough money, pocket money to spend and then enjoy there. So they already have, and they need to prove their assets, their ties, their bank balance, and everything in the. Even students have to deposit money here. We all know, big time, and they're contributing. The first 2-3 years they already gave enough money for those years in university fees and stuff, which is staying in Canada. That money is not going back It's not so. They paid for their first few years. Other people we give welfare, but they are paying money for their first few years, and then we give them more chance than other visitor visa. Definitely, they deserve more than visitors.
But that's your opinion and assumption, right? That they contribute more.
That's not an
Yeah.
assumption. That's a fact, man.
Okay, so well, give me the facts because there's been like we
Should
took
I?
smart. You know how we talked to Shad, right? Shad, he mentioned he came on a visitor visa. He turned into a work permit
Yeah,
eventually.
bro. But the thing
Yeah,
is, like,
yeah.
coming to the fact is, like, we pay the fee. That's what Guyab is trying to say. I'm not against anyone right here. I just want
Yeah.
to make a
Pays for
point here.
education, right? And the thing is that we have a competitive process with PR, so we don't have to decide who contributes more. People who have more higher scores are better candidates, right? Based on our system we
I'll
have
give you an
created.
example on that. I'll give you an example on that. So I give this example on all lives, but I'll still let you know. If a worker in Canada who's on a worker permit, like a student, if he or she has a score of 450, one of my friends, she has a 450 of score, and she's in healthcare, right? And there's another pathway, which is like OINP, which is a provincial pathway. In that, they set a upper cap, let's say 445, and the lower cap 450. So I want to ask everyone on this panel, who will be more deserving candidate in that particular pool? The person with 450 of score in the same field, same work, sex, same education, or the person who's having a score of 450? So the problem here is people like the government doesn't have a criteria where they can tell students we have this particular kind of pathway and you can go through it. And the
So,
students get too affected on this. This is just one example, bro. This is
yeah,
just one of the
smart.
examples, right?
Smart. Your point is valid. I'm not gonna ignore that. I'd be an idiot. What I'm saying is we're making assumptions that the students are always more valuable than somebody that's coming on visitor visa. But I can also show you businessmen who came on visitor visa. They came here to see if they like Canada and it's gonna be good for their family. They said, you know what, we like it. They came here, then they brought in millions of dollars to open up new businesses
So
here.
then they
So
apply for
right.
business
So
visa.
hold
There is
on.
a business visa. They come on a
Man,
visitor,
you
then they apply
interrupted.
for
You interrupt.
business
I'm
visa. Of
sorry, but
course,
you
of
no
course.
no. Listen, you got
No,
to
no, no,
stop
no, no.
interrupting and
They
let
if
people
they like
finish.
it, they apply for business visa.
No,
There is a
listen, hold
business.
on.
There is
10
an
9. 10,
investment
okay,
visa. So Canada
10
have
10
an
1 10
investment
10 1 10
visa.
1 10
So
1. I
of
gotta
course
ask
there is
you.
no
Nathan,
I
problem
have
with.
to ask
Nathan,
Nobody
you.
have any problem
Nathan,
with them.
Nathan, I'll answer that. I'll answer that for you.
No, no,
The problem
smart.
is like
Just before you answer, 10 1. Why do you keep interrupting people and not let them finish? I
Nathan,
have to
Nathan,
ask you
Nathan.
that.
Because
We
you
already do
don't
that.
tell
That's
all the
fine.
facts. So they have a route. So they have
Misinformation
investment
can hurt anyone,
visa.
bro.
If they like Canada, they can apply the investment visa,
Nathan, I'll also tell you
business
one thing.
visa.
There will be one in a million visitors that will do an investment in a business over here. But the students, the fact is, if we get 500,000 students at the which we got in 2022, 2023, each of them at least brings an average of $30,000 to $40,000. Plus, I'll tell you one more thing. If you might have heard the day before or before, I think 3 days ago, Mark Miller also said one thing. If we did not bring 4 to 500,000 students in 2022, 2023, we should have faced more recession and we could not have recovered from it. And it's not me, it's the news. So I'm just telling
Okay.
the facts.
Okay.
So, yep.
Are you good? Or you got more?
Yep, you
Okay,
continue. I'll
so
answer if you want.
I'm gonna go back to the original point. Smart. I can always have a great discussion with you because you allow us to go back and forth. 10-1. Can you please just commit to allowing us to have a dialogue back and forth and not cutting people off?
Oh, I will add more facts. If you missing the facts, you are not telling people. So there is audience. So I am just telling them
No, but it's not about the.
no, no,
It's
no,
not
no, no,
about
no.
the.
Listen me. Are you agree with me? Because visitor people, they can, if they are businessmen, they want to make investment, then they have a route of business visa or investment visa. Yes or no? Are you agree with me or no?
I asked you a question first,
No,
and
no.
no answer
Is there an option for
okay.
them?
So
Yes or no?
this is why the
Is there
Canadians
a
are
option
hating
for
this
business people?
immigration because
Is
I
there
guess
a
the
no,
new
no, no, no?
people coming into the
Just
country
yes or
Guys,
no?
just
both of
not
you,
being
both
Is
of
able to
you.
find
there
a
Give
a
job.
me a
is
sec.
there a option
Guys,
for business people after visiting here to have the other type of visa, investment or business, whatever it's called, or even agriculture visa? There is a different type. Do they have this option? Yes or no?
Are you ready to listen to me?
Yeah.
Okay. Answer my fucking question first.
What was? I am asking you
Exactly. You're not
question.
good at listening. You're just good at talking. What my
No,
point
yeah.
was,
So
are
I
you
am good
going to
at
let
talking. Of
people
course I am.
finish their thought process, or are you going to keep butting in?
So no,
Because
no,
this
no.
is the
What's
problem
your
we're
question?
having.
No,
We're having a
you answer
dialogue.
my question and then I will answer yours. How about
Okay.
this?
Ask everybody in this group who asked the first question.
I asked this 3 times in a line. So you finish
I don't
it.
give a
Then I
shit.
will
You
answer.
asked 20 times.
So I
You
don't
keep
give you
interrupting
shit too
people.
about you to also fucking. You are like you have a agenda here. You have agenda for specific community, and we know that. We
Okay,
can see. We are here
my
because
agenda was
when your argument is debunked, you are keep continuing on that.
okay.
Oh, it's my opinion. Can I say my opinion? Fucking is about facts, not about opinions.
Okay.
We are
So
talking
listen,
facts here.
I
We are
said nobody
talking
should
facts here,
blame
not
the.
opinions.
I said, did you hear the part? I said nobody should blame the international students. Government is to be blamed. Did you hear that part, or
Oh,
did you
that's
have
different.
hot
So
numbers?
why you are arguing with? Then what's your rebuttal? Then stop it. You
Okay,
said
go
your
ahead.
final. You said your
I
final.
guess I
If
can't.
you
He
said
can't have
your
an
no,
intellectual
listen me.
discussion.
Guys,
If
guys,
you
hold
said
on.
your final statement, then the discussion with you is over. Go back, go down. Your
Okay, okay.
final statement is
I'll tell
there.
you where the
I
difference
think
You
is.
you're not able
concluded
to
it.
have
You
any
made a
discussions.
conclusion, and I am telling you, like
Riyad,
here, the
Riyad.
government make policies, strategies for next 10 years, 20 years, and this is a global recession. Any government is gonna be
Okay.
happening pretty much 1 or 2% difference, pretty much same position here in
Okay.
Canada, no
No,
matter
okay.
what.
No, yeah. Go ahead.
Listen. I'll tell you one thing. The thing is, I agree to your point. Like, there are rules that change and it should be fair to everyone. I totally agree to it. But I'll tell you one more thing here. The thing is, the students we are backing up are all those students who came to Canada, saw a pathway. The rules that were there in that times were different. I know they have set a bar, but the bar is out of control right now. The problem is not like the students are not capable of achieving those bars. As I told you, example of 450, right? As I said, I told you my example too. I have a score of 490. If you talk to people or students or who came back in 2015, 2010, they would know what a score of 490 is.
Playing from
Trust me.
desktop
There's
Meg
no harm.
974.
There's no harm like backing up those students who are really capable and who we really want in Canada. So I don't understand. Like, you have a point. Like, we don't need any more. The school rules should be fair. But that's
So,
not going to help. They are still going to get PR in any way. Trust
yeah,
me.
Samar, I never did. By the way, Samar, you know that I've never disagreed with you. I always agree with you on that thing. I'm just saying, when we're having a dialogue back and forth, let's not interrupt each other. Let's let the
Bro,
person finish.
trust me.
Right?
Like, this would happen. Like, it's not something new. We all know.
Yeah. So,
Let's
anyways,
be mature, man. Let's leave
yeah,
it.
10-1. What's your status, by the way, in Canada?
Hey, you are asking me?
Yeah, I don't know your name. I just
Yeah,
see 10-1 on the second.
I am the citizen for more than 2 decades, almost 2 decades.
Okay, so you don't
Nathan,
have,
his name is Infinity -1.
yeah. So is your sorry, I can't. I'm blind a little bit. So have you, like, when you came here? How did you come here? Just so I can also I want to get to know you.
So I have what? Sorry.
I said, how did you come here? I want to get to know you a little bit that way.
Oh, I had a points, so I come on a point base that I'm professional immigration.
No, yeah, no. If you can walk us through your journey, just
I don't remember I don't remember our 2 months old things, but I tell you the main thing. So there was a thing, so I applied. I have the points, and I come here on professional point based visa.
Oh, so you came in a professional visa.
Yeah.
Okay. And what are you running a business, or are you employed now, or?
Oh, that's none of your business.
No, I'm asking. We're trying to get.
No,
If you want to ask me questions,
no.
I can answer
I
those
can tell
questions. I
you.
don't have a problem.
I can tell you. I am contributing big time in tax into Canada.
I'm not worried about
More.
contribution. I'm just trying to understand.
I can tell you one thing. We paying more. If somebody making minimum wages, so I can paying more than their annual salary in the taxes.
And Nathan,
Tax.
it doesn't matter. Like, let's get
Yeah,
back to the
no, I'm
topic.
trying
If he
to.
doesn't want to
Yeah.
talk, that's fine.
Yeah,
We totally
Samar. No,
respect that, right?
I'm trying to understand his journey because he's very
That's fine.
passionate.
That's fine. He doesn't
Yeah,
want
yeah.
that.
It's
No,
just
it's
always
okay,
good to
man.
know because Samar, when I asked you about your journey, you shared it, and I was like, I love
The
it.
thing is, like,
You're the
no
type
one.
of people the
Yeah.
Canada needs and wants.
The thing is, like, we cannot decide who is really capable or not. Like, to be honest, we all are humans, and we should respect that too.
Yeah, no, it's just journey. It's trying to get, like, that's how Canadian journey is, where you get to know each other. That's the whole thing about
That's
Canada.
fine, man. Like, as I said, we should respect everyone's,
Well, it's
how
not
they ever want to
it's
feel
not
it,
anything
right?
specific that, like, it's not a, hey, tell me what your height is or anything, or tell me.
No, it's all good, man. Chill,
It's a
chill.
pretty general question.
Let's
Is
get back
what's
to
your
the topic.
journey, right?
Let's get back to the topic, Nathan. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Chill.
So, anyways, at the end of the day, policies change. There is no guarantee that anybody is going to get their PR or get their PGW extension. I want the international students who spent a ton of money, a shit ton of money, with promises Some of them have actually, loan, what do you call it, got loans from the bank to get here. I want them, but at the end of the day, it's not the election. I keep hearing the election. It is, simply put, the recession. If there was no recession, we would not even be having these discussions.
I have a question for you, man. Just tell me one thing.
Yeah.
I have a good question. What will be your response to Mark Miller's statement saying, because of the students we brought in 2022, 2023, it has helped the recession? What will be your response in, like, say, 30 seconds?
Sorry, I didn't hear the last part. What did you say? What would your
So
Maybe
Mark
plier,
Mark
some
Miller
nose
made a
plier,
statement. The
something,
immigration minister
some kind of
says
plier.
with a
I
they
need
had a
to
meeting with
move
Bank of
this
Canada,
in,
and after that this came
or
out.
maybe.
If
I thought it was like a screw.
2022 or 2023
No, it's not
students were
screw.
not
It's
brought
just
in,
this thing with the
then
plug.
we would have a really bad recession. But my point is,
I agree.
no, sorry,
I think
like,
it's
before
been
you
like that
answer, like,
before the
but my
Qualcomm
point
war.
is, the students who came in 2018, 2019, who are being affected, also brought a shitload of money. They also help and contribute to the society and Canada. Right.
Allah.
So the thing is, like, if we say rules change, fuck those students, that wouldn't make sense, man. That's not humanitarian.
Samar,
Would you agree with that?
I agree. Like everything you're saying, I've never disagreed with you. I think you know that. You know where I stand. They should be allowed to stay. What I'm saying is they're not going to be stay. They should be allowed to stay, but they're not going to stay. I had never changed from that.
Right.
The government is fucked up. I keep saying that over and over. This is government's fuck up. This is
I understand, like, but the thing is, they're still going to get PR in any
No.
case, because I know most of the students in Canada, they are very hardworking and they will find their way for sure.
No, no, no.
Majority
How,
are
how can
hardworking.
you say government fucked up?
Majority-
Listen me. The thing is, if like suppose after 2 years the recession will be all and economy booming, and suddenly we need a lot of people. Should we bring just on from the like port like fresh people, or we should have people with this 5 to 6 year experience in Canada? Suddenly 2 years policy change, because on long run we definitely need a lot of people, young people in Canada. So what do you suggest? Government, how you like? I can tell your whole agenda, like it's like a whole Hindu nationalist agenda. No matter what, you vote for anybody who is against liberal because he support the Khalistani. So your whole narrative is here against Trudeau. You have nothing to do with students. All your bullshit who you are talking here is all about political. Like it's always government fault. Government don't make policies. The bureaucrats. Whole there are like ministers. There are people there. So they plan for long term, and then suddenly global recession come. Let's stop it. Then suddenly for a year or two, the long term plans don't change for that. Do you think if we take all these students out now and within a 2-3 years they will settle in their own country, and suddenly we need a lot of people, and then we just bring unskilled people who have no cultural awareness of Canada and anything? Is that a better way?
Do the students now have cultural awareness of Canada? When you go to the protests, they haven't, and they can't even speak English and answer questions in English.
They came here after finishing IELTS, madam, and you know in IELTS.
Can you just
No.
finish so we can hear her
No, I cannot. No, this is a blunder.
Can I just answer that question? I think we should bring people who have the best skills and education at the time.
No. We talk about this. I guess you just came here. We talk about why Canada opened the visa, because Canada don't need all skilled people. The people, labor people, low skilled, high skilled, medium skilled, highly professional, all kind of people are needed here. So it's better to have even the lower level skills of driving or stuff with people at least who spend school here, who are more integrated, who have more awareness of Canada. So yeah. You know, most of time when people come after graduation, all the policies are like after big thought. It's nothing. There is no loophole. These were all planned, and suddenly global economy change, and it will recover in a year or two. This happened multiple. Every decade or 2 decades, these things happen.
Run for Prime Minister of Canada because you have all the ideas and all the answers. Because
I can run better, of course.
Guys, if you all say that we need high-skilled people, who's going to do the low-skilled jobs?
Hold on. You're so hold on. Infinity, you're so good. You should have been Prime Minister of India.
Going to do the low-skilled job. Why can't they do the high-skilled job?
Has Canadians not done low-skilled jobs before?
No, let me tell you.
We need people from all, as Uni said, like we need people from middle skill to low skill to high skill for sure.
One of the complaint I heard, like, okay, here is the thing. one
Can I
of the
just talk 1 second? And
Yeah.
before, when we brought in low skill people, like for example, we had before we had a lot of Filipinos working at Tim Hortons and McDonald's. Weren't they more integrated?
Oh,
The thing
yeah.
is,
I want to talk about this. Thank you, thank you. So, okay, I used to live in a one part of one city. So, what happened when I was in that area? That area was mostly East Asian and Punjabi and Pakistani. So, when I started living in that city, so initially every pharmacy receptionist, every store, those were mostly Punjabi or even Pakistani. Those people. Within a 5 to 6 years, the demography changed. And then what happens? Suddenly, all stores, all pharmacies, all doctor receptionists, they all become Filipinos. Suddenly, in last, I'm talking about 15 years ago, and then I'm talking about 8 to 5 years ago. Suddenly, within 2 3 years, and nobody have complaint. I have no complaint. I never say why these people are here. There used to be Desi people here, and now suddenly all Filipino here. And now those Filipino who started in the stores, they study and stuff, they started their own business, they move on from, because this is working in a store is a survival job. Nobody want to do that job for whole years. Now Filipinos move on, and now suddenly more students come, and now they are doing within a 4 5 years. No, 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 no. I can prove it. I can prove it. It's not lie. It's
We
not
had more
lie.
Latinos. It was more
No,
of a
no, no,
mix.
no, no, no.
It was more
Another
of a mix. We had Filipinos working beside the high school students. It was more
and
diverse.
another thing I need to say. So another complaint here, like in the summer, like these vacations, school vacations. So I know there are jobs for students. Suddenly, but they only work for 2 months, and then the companies need to employ you long term. And they said, okay, 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 okay. Stop. Let me finish. My high school son or daughter didn't get a job for 2 months in Tim Horton or something, but Tim Horton don't care about your 2 months. He need a full-time employee also. So this doesn't mean you complain those students who work 20 hours for
But
whole year.
5 years, that wasn't reality. 5 years,
So
2 months, you could easily work a summer at Tim Hortons.
Yeah, so
so on six buzz,
most
can
of
I
the
respond to
complaints
this
I'm
guy? So
hearing, oh, my high school student, my son didn't get a job this year. Like, okay, this
Okay,
is economy problem.
Infinity, hold on. Okay, let's have Eduardo. Do you have anything to say?
respond to that. Is my mic still working? Okay, so it's working. So let me respond to that. So I think both people are right. So Infinity, you're right when you say it's an entry level job. People are working in Tim Hortons and Walmart to literally put the bare basics on their table, and they're not expected to do that job for the rest of their life. However, I do agree with Zizi and Shay on one thing. It was exposed on, I think, Six Buzz and a few other platforms where companies like Tim Hortons and Walmart have become extremely reliant on temp agencies and hiring agencies. And so it used to be when you worked for Tim Hortons, you had to apply through Tim Hortons. Whereas now they're hiring employees through like these third party companies. And there's a lot of evidence that these companies are owned by people from certain communities who hire within their community and then are deploying staff members to Walmart, to Loblaws, to all of these places. And so I think there is a lot of like proof that there isn't as much diversity within like a lot of these fast food restaurants. Like it's kind of true. But that's not singling out one community. Any community could have
And it's
exploited
okay,
that loophole.
if we talk about the population of India, it's like 1/6 of the whole globe, and then Filipino. But in Canada, they are at par. Like you will see more Filipino or same Filipino as you see the South Asians. Even their proportion of the population of India is like 1/6 population of the world. So you can't compare just because Filipinos are Christian or something, or they are more submissive. That's why you want like favor them,
I'm
or
not talking
why
about
you
submissive. I think
why you favoring
We're
them?
not in India.
it's
We're
not
in
about
Canada.
submission. It's about
Just a sec. I can speak bro.
integration, right?
Let me say something. These people who are sitting over here complaining about their children, they haven't got their job in the summer break. So what else? What after the summer break? Who's gonna work at Tim Hortons, McDonald's? Who's gonna work over there? You guys just want a reason to say
Hey, hold on,
something
hold
shit
on.
about the
Before all
students.
this immigration, Tim
Bro,
Hortons were not empty. Just hey guys, before this
Hey,
immigration,
relax.
Tim Hortons were not
Chill. Okay, I'm
empty.
meeting
Just to
people.
make that
I'm
point.
meeting
Like the
these two.
brown skin, that's the truth, and I know the.
Okay, Brown Munda's not making a point. I have to kick him out. The brown skin, that's very defeatist.
Can I ask Rav and Chetan a question on what like Brown Munda said now? He's saying that citizens don't want to work and Tim Hortons doing some.
That's not true.
That's not true.
Not true
No.
at all.
Okay, so can I
Can-
answer this question really quickly, please? During the pandemic, there was a lot of Canadians who said, hey, or jobs said, hey, if you don't get a vaccination, you can't work. And some of them says, hey, listen, I don't want to get a vaccination that's only been tested for 2 days. That's just an exaggeration. Then there were a lot of individuals that said, hey, listen, my kids are home because schools are out. I can't go to work, right? That was the whole bullshit that happened during the COVID. And the other point is that people keep raising is that, oh, if we don't work, international students, then you're in summertime, then your Tim Hortons are going to be empty. I'm sorry. I've been here, born and raised since '81, and guess what? Every summer, Tim Hortons doesn't close down because we don't have enough workers. It's always been open.
Exactly.
This is the biggest hypocrisy and stupidity I've ever heard of. It's like, stop making this narrative.
It's just, yeah, I'm going to jump in here. It's just the biggest gaslighting. I'm born and raised in Canada, okay? Like, every summer job that we've had, Canadian citizens filled them. I don't know where this narrative come out. Oh, they don't like to work. We were gaslit during COVID that if we didn't get the vaccine, that we wouldn't be allowed to work. We wouldn't be allowed entry into certain places. So that is why the government inflooded Canada with all these immigrants. Okay, Canada has always been Canadian citizens have always been hardworking. I don't know.
100%. That's why Canada was built, is by hardworking individuals. It was never about, oh, Canadians don't want to work. It's never been about that. This is the whole narrative that people are trying to fake. It's not even now. If people are looking for that job and they're not getting it.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, I have a thing. Even after COVID.
Let me finish my point.
Okay, go ahead.
Don't be disrespectful. Thank you. Okay, I've been working since I was 16 in the early 2000s. Okay, every time there was a summer job program, every time there was a summer job for it, you'd see a bunch of high school students that were Canadian born signing up to work, and we'd work through the summer. And then if we were able to keep that job, we would also work even after school. I don't know where this narrative comes from that we need a bunch of international students and a bunch of immigrants to fill these jobs. We've always worked.
Yeah, but international. Okay, can I say? Can I talk? Okay, no. I heard you. I guess you are done.
We don't need you.
Okay, listen me. So international students, they work for whole year, not for 2 months. First of all, second thing. No. Second thing, even after COVID, listen. Even after COVID, some people were getting that welfare seat or whatever was it. I don't know about that. And then they did. Let me say.
Come on.
Let me say. And the economy suddenly started booming after COVID. And the people don't want to come to work, and suddenly government have to double the hours of international students from 20 to 40 for a year or two on temporary basis, because after COVID people don't want to come back to the work, and it take for them a year or two to come back to the work when they finish all that. Yeah, it happened. Everybody knew about that. You don't know the policy.
What are you talking about? I was born and raised here. There's a bunch of, even my brothers, my niece, my nephews, they're now at the working age to where they want to get their first time jobs at Shoppers Drug Mart, at Tim Hortons, at Walmart. Those jobs are not available to them anymore the way it was for me. That's a big worry. So please stop the gaslighting of Canadian citizens that we're lazy, that we don't want to work, we don't want these jobs. We want these jobs.
No, it's not about lazy. I'm saying they need international students working for whole year, not for 2 months only.
Okay,
I'm done.
I don't think you're getting the point. During COVID, the reason why Canadian citizens weren't working is because we were gaslit that if we didn't get the vaccines, if we didn't follow these government protocols, then we weren't allowed to work. I know for me, with the firm that I'm at, I couldn't go back to work. Well, I worked from home during COVID, but I couldn't go back to work unless physically in the office unless I had the vaccine. Okay, there was those types of policies in place that prevented Canadians from working. And then now, post-COVID, now that all these jobs that would have been available to Canadian citizens are now filled by international students and other type of immigrants. So that way, now we're being gaslit, saying, oh, we're lazy, we don't want the job.
100%.
No, that is not.
No, 2 months.
Nathan, did you get the jab?
2 months up.
You get the jab, Nathan. Be fair. Be honest. Did you get the vaccination? Yes or no, Nathan? Nathan, did you get the vaccination? Yes or no, Nathan? Did you get the vaccination? Yes or no?
Why does that matter?
Again, I didn't hear
No,
that.
it matters. It matters. Did you get the vaccination,
Guys,
the
just
jab?
one question. Just one second. Does
can we
anyone
bring
want to
it back
volunteer
to
to
the
drop?
main
Wait,
issue?
guys, please. Does anyone want to volunteer to come down? There's a few people that want to come up.
Yeah,
I will
I'm
just give me
leaving.
2 minutes. I will ask my question. I will done. Okay. I will do.
Okay,
'Cause
let Navjot go so someone else can come.
will do.
Okay, let Navjot go so someone else can come.
Okay,
Navjot was waiting, so
yeah,
he has to
so
go.
I
Oh,
see.
he left.
See, this is see, please don't target immigrants. You know why? Because they come through a proper channel. Look at all around the world what's happening. Look at the like U.S. and Europe, right? People are coming illegally, crossing borders, and they don't know who they are and what kind of background they have holding, right? So all the people who coming to Canada, at least 95% of them like are legally, like they have proper stuff. Maybe 5% like they are paying money to someone and coming through like doing something stupid. But most of people came in legally a proper channel by airport, right? Proper authority, they come to Canada. So it's a government policy to bring this much people. When I came to Canada, if Canada is saying no, we don't want you, so I have no chance to come to Canada legally. A job. I do the job, and all the people doing the same thing. Okay, suppose, if you think there's too many peoples in Tim Hortons or in Walmarts, so just tell me if we stop working there, so where should we work then? Just give us an option, right? So then
Can
I
I
can I
ask you
can
a
tell
question?
I can ask all Indians, okay, now because there's too much Indians in Walmart, so please start applying jobs in these sectors because so we have to bring the multicultural. So because see, if
Can I
after
ask you a
two
question?
three if after 3 years, see, I will go down, okay, I will ask, but I will say my things, I will go down, okay. So after 3 years, if there is a